Hi guys, it's Erin here. Thank you so much for watching again. Today I want to show you how I set up a month for my bullet journal. There are a lot of bullet journaling videos out there on YouTube. Mine is definitely not going to be the most extravagant or the most flamboyant looking bullet journal out there. I do like to keep things pretty simple, but I wanted to show you guys why bullet journaling works for me so well, because as a photographer I do a lot of scheduling, I guess. I have a lot of events that I need to keep track of, and I find the bullet journal system really works for me in order to keep me organized, keep me motivated, as a calendar, a to-do list, a planner, everything all in one. I don't use stickers, I don't doodle. The most exciting things get in my bullet journal in terms of decoration is a little bit of washi tape. I like to stick a bit of washi tape to the outside of the first page of the month so that it's easy to find as you flip through the book, and a tiny bit of hand lettering. I'm still learning how to hand letter. I'm not trying that hard, to be perfectly honest. I just kind of do my normal handwriting with a harder downstroke and a lighter upstroke, so it doesn't always look amazing, but it doesn't need to. It just needs to be functional. And I do find that having a bit of colour in there helps me, so I just pick like 1 or 2 colours for a month. So I don't do a cover page, I just jump straight into the new month. I've tried a few different setups for my monthly page, which is always my first page so that I can look at the whole month at a glance. But this one I'm trying out for April is pretty simple, just a bunch of squares basically. I've chosen a green Tombow as my colour of the month, I suppose. I also usually like to use friction erasable pens in my bullet journal, but I've decided this month I was going to try using an actual permanent Sharpie marker to lay out all of the main stuff, so that if I use an erasable pen inside and I need to remove something, that it's only going to remove what I write with the friction pen and not what I set out earlier with the permanent ones. I do make mistakes pretty often in my journal. I made a mistake in the little May forward planning calendar in the bottom corner there. I had to use some whiteout to fix that one up. Do you call it whiteout? I don't know. Had to use that tape, that correction tape, there we go, that's what it's called, to fix that up, because I pretty much just wrote out the April calendar to start with and then realised that meant it would be on the page twice, and that's a bit superfluous. But anyways, I also drew a bit too far with my pen on one of the boxes on the far right side of the page there, but whatever. It doesn't have to look good for anyone else, it just has to work for me, so that's fine, that's totally okay. I like to set out the page in pencil first if I'm going to be going over it with permanent marker like this, and then kind of erase the lines most of the way but not completely before I draw over them, because I get really impatient and I want to erase the pencil marks too soon and then it smears the ink that I put down, so I find that just works better for me. And I'm just going to add a little drop shadow with my Tombow to all of these boxes to bring a bit more colour into the spread. And I forgot to number my boxes, but we'll come back and do that later. So my next page is my social media planner. I do this every month, where I just plan out what social media content I'm going to post across which platforms for the month. I just really do my blog, Instagram and YouTube on this one so that I can make sure that everything's going up on schedule. It helps. I don't always really stick to it and use it, but I try. Generally, I'll try to have a blog post up on Tuesday, YouTube video up on Thursday. That's really hard at the moment, so I'm aiming right now to just do a YouTube video a week. Whichever day it ends up on is the day that it ends up on. And thank you for bearing with me while that happens, guys. I figure a video at some time is better than no video. I'm actually going to put a video planner in this other facing page this month. I haven't done one of these before, but I thought it might help to keep me on track. So I'm planning out 5 videos this month, because I actually start my month from the week that the month first occurs in, if that makes sense. So I'll have a few days of March spill over into my April setup, because I don't want to split a week across 2 separate months or things get confusing. You might notice a bit of a jump here. I'm very sorry about that. My camera, my little point and shoot camera that I was shooting this with, only films for 20 minutes at a time, and I got so into setting up my month that I didn't notice when it stopped filming. It's not like a DSLR or anything, it doesn't do a big mirror click when it stops. So I've jumped straight to the habit tracker and gratitude pages here. I work from home, my office is in my house, so it can be, if things get messy, my whole life gets messy, my work gets messy, everything gets messy. So I find the habit tracker helps me to stay on top of that. I'm also tracking some skincare habits, making sure that I like water my plants and stuff like that is all in there. I have a lot of things in my habit tracker that I don't actually do every day, but I don't feel like I need to have the whole thing filled out, so that's fine. And I'm just going to show you guys my first monthly here. Oh yeah, I also do a gratitude page because I just think it's a nice way to frame your mindset around positivity, positive things, making sure that you're focusing on the good stuff in your life. Just finding one thing to be grateful for every day is a nice habit to have. I don't always fill it out every day. I kind of go back and fill it out when I remember, sometimes every couple of days, but I do find that it helps me. So I'm using a similar weekly spread to what I did last month, which is on the left-hand side, I've got the boxes for each day where I'll write the events that are happening each day. I don't honestly have that many events in a week. I'm not in school or uni or anything like that, so events will go in that side. And on the facing page, I have my running to-do list for the week. I don't do dailies. I only do a weekly, and all of my work happens within the weekly spread. So the to-do list is divided into work, home, and dance. I also teach dance and help run a dance school in Brisbane, so I have a little section for that too because I run my dance school social media and YouTube channel as well. So I can keep everything in one place, keep an eye on what I need to be doing. Obviously the work priority is at the top of the page because that's the main one. When I was putting this together, I actually wrote home first and then had to squish that out, but you know, that's okay. So I actually am the kind of girl who will go through and draw out every weekly that I need for the month, just because setting everything up in like an hour once a month is much more practical for me than having to draw out a weekly at the beginning or the end of every week. And because I'm not doing dailies, I'm not going to need more or less pages depending on what I'm doing. So I find that works out okay for me. I know it would take less time to buy a planner that has all of this stuff included, but I like the linearity of the bullet journal. I like the customizability, is that a word, of the bullet journal. I like being able to use it as a bit of a creative outlet. I mean, I don't doodle in it the way the big YouTube bullet journalers do. I don't stick stuff in. I don't like my journals becoming bulky. I know this isn't specifically photography related, but it's a really big help in my business, and I thought, you know, maybe if there's other people out there running photography businesses and struggling to stay on top of all their appointments and their emails and their tasks and their editing and everything, that maybe this could help you guys to find a system that works for you, create a system that works for you. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me as always on Instagram at Erin Smith Photo. I'm on Twitter at Erin and the Light, and I've started using Twitter a bit more again lately, which is kind of nice. If you bullet journal, if you don't bullet journal, if you've never heard of bullet journaling before, let me know what you think in the comments of the whole bullet journaling system. If you're not familiar with it, you should head to bulletjournal.com and read up on Ryder Carroll's original system for bullet journaling, because it's very, very simple, and I love that it can be very customized. My man Chris also bullet journals. He owns a gym in Brisbane and he finds that the system works really well for him. He literally just uses his journal and one black pen to draw out everything, and it's very, very simple. So, you know, you can definitely make it work for you. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys next week in my next video. Bye!